As you can see, the weather has begun to cool off here in Alaska. I think next week lows are in the 20s. We have a lot to do. Living here for 4 years, we know what we have to do to prepare for the winter. Not that it takes all that long, but it's a day or two. Firewood's already done, but we got things like the boat that need to be put away, the snowblower that needs to be installed, some extra things done to the house, and some just general cleanup. So I'm going to get after that, try to get some of that done today. Well, over the next couple of days. Here we're just taking the time and breaking down the cataract. We don't want that to get damaged by water, freezing, or anything like that. So we button it all up and put it away in a warm place for the winter. Time to install the snowblower. But first, we got to remove the deck. Phyllis informed me that she had to edit out about an hour of video from this because this didn't come out easy. And before you criticize me on this, I do not recommend using a high lift jack like that. It can definitely cause an accident to tip off. I made sure to grease everything. Every joint, every U-joint that I possibly could, any pivots, to make sure that that is done before the winter. As it turns out, it wasn't going to be too long before I got to use it. I actually ran out of gas right at that point. That is ready to go for the winter. Now We're doing a couple things here on Phyllis's Tacoma. I noticed quite a bit of corrosion around the battery posts, and I installed, hers came without the factory fog lights, so I ordered a kit that was, kind of just a plug and play. But I decided to do a little bit of maintenance on this battery first. Here I'm using baking soda and water, which neutralizes the acid that's been leaking. Probably just plain time for a new battery, but I thought I'd at least do a little preventative maintenance on it. I wouldn't say that I do this every year, but if you do see leaking around your battery, the telltale signs of acid, a super cheap way to clean it up is, and not overspray it onto your paint, would be just a little baking soda and an old toothbrush. After that, I'm putting a little corrosion preventative grease on it for electronics called dielectric grease. I like to do that to make sure that it kind of prevents the situation from happening a second time. And while doing this, I noticed that the battery tender that was all wired up to the truck, one of the terminals was corroded right off. So I wired up the new lights and replaced some terminals. Okay, so this wire with the rib is negative. I was wrong. Let's put some new terminals on here. And yes, I do talk to myself all the time while I'm doing electrical. This one. And all the fittings that I use are crimp and heat shrink fittings. I want to make sure that I don't get any future corrosion on any of these fittings. This one, and this one. And this is all maintenance that's much easier to do now than it is when it's 20 below and you find out that the battery that you didn't service is now giving you problems. And even as I'm watching this video now, I cannot help but notice how dark my brake fluid is. Maybe time to change that as well. Here I'm just mounting the supplied relay that came with the fog lights. It was kind of a nice kit. It actually, the switch for the fog lights actually fit in an open pocket that was already inside the truck. A nice way to get some extra lighting and use a factory spot for it. I needed a... Nothing's hot? How's that possible? I needed a signal hot wire for the relay, and I ended up wiring it into a marker light. Nothing's hot. Except here I grabbed the wrong wiring harness. Now we are gathering up the rest of the tomatoes and any vegetables that are left in the garden before the freeze hits. We screwed that up last year and ended up losing a whole bunch of plants early because it froze and we didn't make the time to actually get the rest of the plants out of there. Not making that mistake this year. We clear snow along the sides of the greenhouse as it comes down so it doesn't hurt the greenhouse. So here we are just carrying in the raised little planters that we use, so I can drive the snowblower right next to the greenhouse. Oh, I know you.
Now, are these spares for anything, or garbage?
Garbage. It works kind of good to just set the planters on old used tires, gives them a little cushion, and I think the dark color of the tires actually helps heat up the soil a little bit. We just did kind of an experiment out there this year with the potatoes and cucumbers and cabbage, and my lord, the stuff that was outside did just phenomenal. I cannot believe how many potatoes we got out of that, and the cabbage obviously were huge. Now, every year when it hits about 20 below, our drain for the kitchen sink freezes up. And last year, when we had super cold weather predicted, Phyllis wanted to cover up the skirt of the house, which is what she's doing. You can see our house is built up off the ground. And I didn't really think it would matter. It mattered in a huge way. When it was 52 below, we were actually able to manage the house. It didn't get too cold. So she is doing a preemptive thing here and actually doing this right now before we have snow, which, as it turned out, would be about a week later. And this should keep pipes from freezing and everything. Now, during the winter last year, we started melting a lot of snow for our water instead of going in town to get it. We get a lot of the snow off the roof of either the chicken coop or the woodshed. Sorry.
Why is there a ball up here?
There's a ball up there?
Yes.
I got the line. What happened to your gloves? But what we noticed is that all the leaves and stuff that would be left on the garage would end up in the water. So we're taking some time and cleaning off those roofs that we're going to utilize for snow ahead of time. It looks a little sketchy, but it'll be safe.
Right.
That's not going anywhere. Isn't that what I'm supposed to say? Not having the leaves on there will also help the snow shed a little bit come springtime. Well, here I am, stuck. We got 17 inches of snow in the course of 2 days, and turned out to be a little more than my car could drive through. So we spent the next 3.5 hours clearing the driveway and the yard. Hey, thanks for watching. I hope that if you enjoyed this video, you'll actually take the time to like and subscribe, and if you see fit, please comment. We enjoy the comment. We like to communicate with our subscribers and viewers. If there's something we can do better or something you want to see, do let us know. All right, this is Adam and Phyllis from Alaska Cut the Cord. Come join us out here.